What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and we are back, like we always are. But this is a kind of a special this week in Toku. With me, as always, is the fan of the Punk Jack fan club and president, CEO, and undying cult member for Mr. Win himself.
Mr. Hallelujah Win himself.
Yeah, but it's like, good to know.
That was a lot of things. Also, you said I'm president of that fan club, correct?
And CEO.
Okay, thank God, because I deserve that. Hi, I'm Stormy. I'm the
would say,
president
unless
of the Punk Jack fan club. I am the CEO. Come to our cult meetings. We meet on Tuesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And listening to his hit single. We'll get to it.
I almost broke that into song.
So this week we have three things to discuss. We have obviously our most recent episode of King Oger, and we also have a new episode of Geats, and we have a Geats Extra Kamen Rider Punk Jack. It's a Punk Jack special.
Oh, baby.
Did I say Punk Jack enough in that sentence?
Nah, you need a few more times.
Like, so I'd say, because obviously we need more Punk Jack, because Punk Jack just came back into the show, so we need some more Punk Jack for his Punk Jack revival.
You need to talk about the Punku King.
We'll get to it in a minute.
God, fine, don't tease me.
We have King Oger to talk about first.
Alright.
This is Jeremy's Piss, the episode.
This is a you just fucked with the wrong man episode.
Well, it's like, he tried to give good graces, and you fucked him. You fucked him hard. And we literally open up with him going into the underground, and everyone's like, yeah, fuck Jeremy, he's a piece of...
Death Yark's alive, big shocker.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm eating dirt.
I was wondering if it was going to, like, pan out, and he was just going to be eating some of, like, the lower class...
Bugnyark
or something.
And you pretty much... Jeremy's like, oh, I guess you guys are still mad at me. And he's just like, eh. And then he throws Godhopper's soul onto Bookman. And
there you go.
They're just like, what? And he's just like, you guys stay put. I gave you one.
Don't play.
I gave you a cookie. Now sit the fuck down.
Stay put for a little bit.
Yeah, because Death York was immediately just being like, let's raise our next... raise up our next people. Let's raise up our next attack. And he's like, no, just stay put. Don't do anything. Shut up.
Just don't do anything.
And then he mysteriously leaves with another Bugnyark showing up, which this Bugnyark looks exactly like the one that got poisoned from that one episode. You remember?
Yeah, it's a very shy, hesitant Bugnyark. Kind of talks like this.
I think he gained that disability after he got poisoned.
It reflected my vocal cords.
It's probably just a reuse of the suit.
It could be, but then again, they also said this was the one that Godhopper landed on. Apparently, he survived and he just ran away.
Yeah.
And, like, they're calling him a half-hearted Bugnyark because you're supposed to die for your cause, then return home.
You're supposed to die fighting before you come home. And now we actually have a couple differences in the intro.
Yes,
Jeremy's included.
Yeah, we finally get him slickly into the intro, and you called it with the green being his
Was that on the podcast, or was that just, like, in us talking? I know, we were trying to...
It might have been a long time ago. It might have been in that one where we were just talking about our predictions for Spider Kumos.
I guess so. I would just... Because my guess was like, oh, I wonder if they'll do green. And you said they would probably do gold. We were technically both right because we do see the gold in the black and white, but we do have green around it, so that's kind of cool. He's also not in his kingdom. He's just kind of in the forest, which
he's
makes
just in
sense.
trees. But he also gets his Tulantula legs.
Yeah, we see like a cool pose of like him with the suit. I love this part. I would love to make a painting or something of
the six of them with their bug parts.
Yeah, it's just really cool looking. I love how they did it, and he's there too. He's got his little stabby hands.
He's ready for stab hands.
And they actually did a new thing with the very end where they're all walking towards the camera, and he's just there like, look at me. I've arrived.
I'm here.
I'm Spider Jesus.
And he's legitimately just talking to Yanma and just fucking with them by lighting them on fire. That's not even a joke. He lights them on fire, quote unquote.
But it was a fake thing, so it's not actually hot.
His fucking Yama's little friend, Shinoka, or I don't remember his name.
I don't know.
White curly Q man.
You know what? They're probably fine with just being called Yama's little friend. They'd probably be okay with it.
We'll get to them later also. But yeah, they thought they were on fire, and Yama...
Too far.
And Yama was like, hey, let me see your gun. And he's like,
No,
this gun is
lots of
my
special.
it's very important to me.
Lots of special
Like, and I
memories
feel
or
like this is
whatever.
all he has to say. Well, I'm gonna say put a pin in that. Put a pin in him saying
Yeah.
like how important this is to him.
Something we're probably gonna do a lot with him.
Like he says, he's literally says he's like, oh, it contains many priceless stories, which I'm like, you don't have to do that deep of thinking of what this probably means to him. You know what I mean? I'm realizing, I'll get to it again when we take the pin out. I will get into actually what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but they kind of like, oh, you know what? Let's use this as an opportunity to tell you a little bit about Yama.
Yeah, let's
And,
do a story.
We see a little bit of like him with that mentor that we had seen, and
Wait, I was about to say there was a scene
I
with
know.
Gaira. Do we want to just skip that?
I thought maybe you'd want to attach that to something later.
Like,
I
that's
guess
what
there
I'm-
isn't really anything to put that with now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's like literally.
Okay, never mind then.
It's literally just no, it's just Gaira, Sebastian, and Himino, and they're just like, I don't know, maybe they favor the Bugnyak, and she's like, I don't care, where's Scorpy? And he's just and she's like, Gaira, have you heard or talked to him? And all of a sudden, Gaira just says, I haven't talked to them since they disappeared. Like, I don't know where they are.
So they decide to go to Shugadam
Yeah,
to
see if they can find them.
and talk to them. But obviously he's a wanted criminal. So what do they do but make him look like Sebastian?
Yeah, because you have to think it is a makeup
Sebastian.
effect, which they did it at like the snap of their fingers,
Which
like
makes
movie
sense.
theater logic.
Yeah, it's like that actually like weirdly does just like make sense without having to explain it in
Yeah, it's like, oh
the
yeah,
universe.
because remember he is 25 under there.
hmm
So
I wonder what
Meanwhile-
Sebastian looked like before. Yeah, it's definitely effective. Just like, oh, they had like a body double and they
Well-
had Sebastian film the other things.
wait, did you know?
It's okay.
Speaking of
they
which,
tried.
actually, one of the cast members does have a twin.
Oh yeah,
Kaguragi has a twin. The guy who plays him.
really?
Yeah, it's like he actually took a picture behind scenes. I don't know if I could.
Are they
find
like
it.
identical?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, the only thing is like one has a mole. That's how you tell them apart.
Oh, good. They have
Um,
something to differentiate.
Yeah, in one of them, his brother was wearing the wig. So it's just like, it was like a behind the scenes photo. So I'm like, oh, I
What
wonder
does
if they're gonna
Kaguragi
use
look
this.
like without a wig? That's what I want to see.
He has short
What?
hair, I think.
Oh, is it just like really short?
Yeah.
I'd still like to see it. Just it sounds interesting.
If I could find it. But yeah, no, and they're immediately just like, yeah, you're a wanted criminal. And yeah,
Sit back.
but also, okay, I want to get into this right now because we're gonna have little moments of it here and there. The mouth syncing on Sebastian and Gaira speaking
Yeah,
was
that's what
a little off.
That's what I was mentioning before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, they tried.
They tried.
They did their best.
It's like, it also makes sense because it's like, it is makeup in a different voice.
Yeah, again, like I can see how that would be really difficult to do. So I'm not gonna like, and it wasn't like a huge part of the episode. So whatever.
But yeah, no, yeah. Then we get into, they go to this weird factory with Jeremy and Inyama, and this is like, oh yeah, this is where it all started. And like, yeah, and that's where you meet this old man who's...
And man, when Blue said that he grew up in the slums, he was not kidding. This looks like an actual landfill.
Like, this is a dump.
It makes me wonder, was this what the country just looked like at one point, or was this just like a specific point of it?
Well, he said, he said that computer built this city.
Yeah, so I guess that's just like what everything looked like.
So maybe it all just looked like a garbage pile. And he literally just told him, he's like, all the parts you need is out there in the junk pile. You're just going to have to fucking find it and piece it together.
And a lot of what he said, does kind of mirror a lot of like how Blue just kind of functions of like, there's everything you need here. You just need to find it and figure it out. And you just need to work from the bottom up to do it.
Exactly.
Or something along those lines.
Exactly. Where it's like, you work so hard to get at the top, why ever give it up?
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's kind of nice because, again, you're getting more of Yama's backstory. And then is this where they mention the Wrath of the Gods?
The Fury of the Gods.
Yeah.
They mentioned it, but I don't think they actually said anything
Yeah, they
about
just
it.
said it. Yeah, they're like, oh, and then 15 years ago it happened, and that's when everything changed. I think. And that's pretty
Something
much
like
all
that.
we heard.
I wonder if this is just kind of referencing, because it seems like a lot of important people died on that day. I wonder if this was just kind of like the Fury of the Gods was when
The old man died.
Yama lost the old man, Yellow lost her parents. I wonder if apparently that's when Gira got stolen. It makes me quote unquote stolen, but it just makes me wonder, is this when all of the previous kings lost their spot, essentially, and all of the people that were underneath them had to come and step up?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, just because it seems to be a
built
theme.
the sword, though.
It seems to be a theme. Yeah, like Yama was the one that designed like the suits and the swords and the transformation things, essentially.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. And immediately after getting told that story, Jeremy is just like, you know what? For that story, I'll let you look at my gun.
A story for a story.
Exactly. It's like, here's my gun. Take care of it.
And what's his brilliant plan to use this gun's amazing technology for?
Oh, whoopee cushion for Reculus!
Yeah!
Uh,
Yeah. So yeah, he basically was gonna have one of those big cushion things that Black has a lot, in his things that everyone loves. And he was planning on just like, okay, I'm gonna give him one as like a fake sense of like peace or what, like a token of whatever.
Gratitude.
And then he's gonna sit on it, and it's gonna fart, and there's gonna be fireworks, and it's gonna explode, and he's gonna be embarrassed. And everyone loves it except for his friend.
Well, yeah, except for his
Should we just call him like Curly Q?
Curly Q. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Curly Q it is.
Curly Q. Because, honestly, I like that out of all of the ones in his quote-unquote gang, he's the one who is his technical retrainer / underling. And the only reason he is just to make sure he doesn't cause a fucking war.
You know what? I think... Yeah, because even he was just like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. You're just going to be poking the bear for no reason.
You're literally going to call an international incident.
But by God, does Blue go through with it?
Yeah, he follows through. Also, this is when the Bugnark of this week just decided to suddenly appear in front of Curly Q, and then we mysteriously don't see anything after that. There's no reason for that.
Definitely.
Don't question it.
Is it him delivering it immediately after this?
No, this is like Jeremy. They first go in there. They don't do it right away. They actually let the scene between Jeremy and
Reculus, right?
Reculus start playing, and he's just like, he's like, I want to know how robust your history of Terra is. He's like, well, I wrote it all down.
Yeah, he literally points to the ceiling too.
Like, I made that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's me.
It's there. I did that. And then he's just like, he wanted to, and like Reculus is kind of pushing the matter, but he's like, I have a question for you. And he's just like, do you know what happened before that? Because the war between the Bugnark and humans really seemed to pop up suddenly overnight.
Nowhere. Like, he even called it, I think, a dove coming out of a magician's hat.
Yeah, something like that. Which adds a lot of questions to things of just, like, is the Husty family just filled with assholes? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like, is Jeremy gonna dust out? I realize I just sounded like a skipping record right there, but we're gonna move on. Like, but is Jeremy going to be like airing out the Hustity family, like dirty laundry? Like there's so many different theories. Like you theorized at one point where it's like, oh, what if Jeremy's dad was the first king's like brother?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast.
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So a lot of like what I've been trying to really think, because the little breadcrumbs that they've been leaving, because this is Jeremy's whole fucking shtick of just like leaving breadcrumbs, and like that's kind of like the writer's thing of just
he even says it earlier that his father was meant to be the 6th king.
And another thing that we've been talking about a lot that I know we did mention was like, oh, where was this kingdom? We think maybe it was in Blacks just because there was so much territory there. You could see how there could easily be another country in it. Or not, because it makes sense because they're the farming country and they need as much space as possible to provide for everyone else. But I was just like, oh, such a big thing that they pointed out in like specifically the Reculus special was like, not only was there like a Bugnark person working there, but the whole thing was like, oh, we can only be
until episode 2 if he knew that or not.
Right. It can only be activated if you have the DNA of the original king. Like, it only will activate
one sword.
Like that one specific sword, the original one.
The OG Caliber 0.
And it makes me wonder, because I think they even said like Shogunam was the original kingdom.
Well, yeah.
So it makes me wonder, like, why would they give us that little nugget of information? Because Gira already has a sword. We already know for a fact that he's doing it. Like, oh, yes, he theoretically could use it if he wanted to. But why specifically would you mention that? It makes me wonder if Jeremy's going to get a hold of that sword at some point and it's going to activate. And, like, that's going to be a clue as to, like, oh, he's related to the Husty family. But how? So I wondered, oh, what if, like, the original king, who's Jeremy's father... was the descendant of Gira and Regulus's family, essentially.
And we do
like
know that his sword was made before the Ogre caliber, but I think maybe it's around
It's an ancient sword.
Well, yeah,
they were probably made about the same time.
Slayer, yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if they were made at the same time. Like, oh, what if these two were brothers? And, like, you know, maybe, like, oh, he was the one that ended up half Bugnark. Maybe they have Bugnark in them, but they didn't have it as visually present. Maybe that's why Gira is able to talk to the Bugnark. Because here's the thing, like I've developed my theory a little bit more of just like, oh, what if, you know, there's like a connection like that? And because if you look at the map, funny enough, that they have shown us, like, and where the kingdoms are that we've seen, in Shogunam, there's a huge river that cuts it in half. So it makes me wonder if, like, that used to...
in half, but yeah.
Well, not, like, in half. Like, the other one on the lower part is actually a lot smaller. That's my bad. But it cuts it down it cuts it into two, essentially. And it makes me wonder if that's where the original kingdom was. And because they were brothers, it was, like, all close together. And, of course, they would have usurped it from them. You even said, what if they were the spider one was the bigger half because they went upwards into Rita's kingdom?
Yeah, because it looks like they would have absquanded to Gokhan.
Because that would make sense, because you would have to go over the place you're trying to avoid if you were the lower one. But I'm also wondering, so it makes me think, oh, what if Shogunam has just been filled with assholes? You know, like, the kings have just all been assholes. This is where Regulus got all of this motif from. Like, what if, like, it was, like, because we saw the people that murdered Yellow's parents were probably from there. What if that was the original king? And like, oh, we theorized, oh, what if this is when Regulus was getting rid of Gira? What if the king wanted to get rid of Gira? Because it's like, oh, we can't have any sort of scraps of this possible, like, bloodline fusion being a part of it.
I
like,
don't know
I don't know if it would go that far, but it's like, what if the king wanted to get rid of Gira because he was kind-hearted or something?
Like, that's what I was saying more, where it's like, because it's like, like, Jeremy's dad was banished because he fell in love with a Bugnark, which honestly is one of those situations where you think, oh, that means us as people could union, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And he got ratted out.
And exactly.
And what if that was him? And what if that was him that mentioned it, his own fucking brother?
Like, that's what I'm saying, where it's like, is he the one who banished him? It's a good idea, and it does make you have to wonder also, like, because this is something I'm not sure about. Was the Kumo Slayer made to seal Jeremy's power specifically? Or was that his father's sword? I don't know if we have any concrete info or anything about that.
Which came first, essentially? Like was it a weapon first or was it a seal first?
And exactly, because it's like, it's something his father did, and you saw that his
mother didn't want.
Like, well, I don't know if his mother didn't, like, disagree, but it's like she was very upset to cover his face.
She didn't want that to
over
happen.
2,000 years.
But we never really saw his dad's reaction. He really seems to talk about his mom, so it makes me wonder if he was kind of, like, a little bit shittier in this situation.
Well, yeah, and it's like, and honestly, Jeremy points out in this scene between him and Regulus that it's like, it has to be the result of internal manipulation. He's like, and your family and your history would be the only people who can know what it is before. And you see Regulus tense up and say, answer my fucking question first.
I asked you first. He gets flustered a little.
But yeah, and it's like, I also like that you see Jeremy roll his eyes at Regulus.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I was just like, yes.
And then we get the whoopee cushion gag.
Yeah, so they bring in this stupid fucking gift, and they're struggling to bring it in. He's just like, that's really stupid. I don't want it.
He's like, I'd rather not. I'm already in my pretty comfortable throne. I'm about to get a nice 1776 wine coming out here.
And there's like, okay. And as they're going to, like, bring it back out, I forget what causes it, but Curly Q
he
drops it. And then
starts falling into it.
Blue is just like, no! And he jumps for it, and then he kicks Curly Q just fucking double kicks them out of the way so that they didn't hit it, but then he
lands on
it, and exactly what he was hoping would happen to Reculus happens to him, and Reculus is just kind of like,
yeah, Lumiere is laughing.
great job,
Cogsworth
asshole.
is laughing.
Great job. Like,
Yeah.
just, bravo. And
Yeah, Reculus. And then it's revealed that Curly Q is a fucking Bugnark.
oh my god. And then, like, he just kind of wakes up out of nowhere, like, where am I?
And
then,
like, and all of a sudden, and then like, and then fucking, that's when Yama's like, oh yes, this must have been an evil Bugnark plot. I'll get
I'll
him.
save you.
Also, when he landed, the gun fell out of the pouch.
Yeah, it was, like, fake. And then Jeremy's pissed,
Well,
guys.
he just kind of looked as they all walked away, as he chased the Bugnark away. He kind of like looked at the gun, picked it up. He's like, is this really how this is? Are you fucking kidding me?
You used my treasure possession for a glorified whoopee cushion.
And he even gets into it, and you see that he is pissed.
And, I mean...
And then, by the way, the
it's not-
Bugnark are attacking.
I mean, it's very obvious to see, like, we kind of know Jeremy's shtick a little bit. Yama really should have fucking known better than to just be like, oh, yeah, definitely gonna blame this Bugnark and chase this one that's trying to get away and
Actively
running away.
run away.
And then, like, starts to fight it and everything and actually try to kill it. Or them, I guess I should say.
Yeah, in front.
And it
In
pisses
front of
Jeremy
the
off, very
half-
rightfully so. Like,
And, like, you immediately have the others are fighting just regular grunts and everything, and I think we even get Gyra saying, oh, I can hear Scorpy, and then, like, everyone's supposed to be hiding Gyra. I think this is when they started, like, phasing, like, showing you Gyra's expression of, like, how he would be acting in his regular costume.
it is really funny to see, like, the Sebastian actor, like, crawl around like a fucking animal, like how Gira usually
Yeah.
does. It made me realize just how much Gira does that. I never really thought about it until I saw someone else doing it. I'm like, yeah, he is kind of just just an animal child,
Yeah, he's
isn't
like,
he?
he's like, oh, I can slightly hear them, and all of a sudden,
Like,
like, that's when
sniffing
they
it like a
attack,
hound.
and like that's when they thing, and she's just like, all right, Sebastian, give me my sword.
Sebastian!
He's just like,
Shit.
oh shit, that's me.
He's like intensely like, yeah, and like yelling like how he usually does. It's like, god damn it, you suck at acting.
Yeah, he's like,
Not the actual actor, I meant the character.
yeah, it's like it was,
The actors are
it was good
spectacular.
bad acting,
Yeah, it's fun bad acting. I love that shit.
and
Like acting inside of acting. It's really funny.
and again, Jeremy has snapped. He is just like, why? Every time I tell you both not to fight,
You don't fucking listen.
you don't fucking listen. He's like, I gave you guys each a soul as a token.
Yeah,
to
I
just
have
say-
one, they have one, and you have one.
We should be on even grounds.
We're on evil plague field,
I
and
even
you fucked
told
it up.
he told the Bugnark not to do anything, and then Yama did his shit.
I mean, to be fair, the Bugnark did attack when he told them not to, and he slaughters them. Like,
Well, yeah, he takes back both of the souls. He takes back Scorpion. He takes back Kabuto, and we will get to put a pin in that. And this is also where he reveals that his gun was given to him by his mother.
I'm not that shocked.
Well, yeah, and exactly where it's like, oh, you could have just said that. I'm like, no, how he worded it, you should have respected it more.
Yeah, like
Dickwad.
I'm fully on Jeremy's side with this one. He's been very clear about his intentions now that they're out, and Blue kind of just disregarded it and then did it for a childish reason, and then directly went against what he knows Jeremy is for after using his prized possession for something stupid. I mean, come the fuck on.
Well, yeah, it's like, and the Bugnark are in his shit too. Again, he takes everything. He takes the soul back. He kicks everyone's ass. He's literally like, man or Bugnark, I will put you in your place. I'm tired of words. We're getting physical.
You want to know what? I'm gonna give you a story to haunt you, and then
And calls God Tarantula.
oh, guys, it's so good.
And he is
It, like, blocks out the
terrifying.
fucking
Yeah,
sun.
he's like eclipsing the sun, and he's just shooting his webs, just being like.
He goes full Spider-Man at one point. It's
Yeah,
really fun.
You actually, it's like he's going nuts and just slaughtering them all with his
Even the
hands.
massive ones.
Yeah, and he immediately then pulls out the 3 great shoe gods from the ground, and he's just like, oh, what the hell? And they're like, oh my god, there they are. And he's just like, huh.
These bitches are coming with me. You don't deserve them. And then just like brings them up into the sky.
No,
But
that's before then he kicks the one bug's ass, and he even gets the bug of the week. And
the one
Like the really shy one that's been kind of just
that's not revealed
misunderstood.
until the end.
But no, I'm saying like they like they're like, okay, I'm
Oh,
gonna
they're my
die
dog.
for my country, and then he eats the thing that like the ants ate forever ago, and he turns big and he's fighting him, and he even hears him as they're like exploding at the very end, just like I'm not half-hearted, and Jeremy's like, ah, shit.
Shit. Yeah.
And then he proceeds, I shit you not, to take all of their shit. He took everyone's
Well, yeah,
sword.
the gods. Wait. Oh, yeah, I'm realizing we skipped over that before God Tarantula.
I didn't quite remember when that happened.
Yeah, no, it was like right before God Tarantula. He's like, I'm going to have to teach each of you a lesson. And he takes every single one of their... Obviously, except for Reculus's, but he takes everyone's sword.
Well, he's not
even
there.
Rita just gets attacked.
Yeah, Rita's just kind of there, and they're just like, what's happening?
And, like, Gyra even yells, like, oh, you could have just said that. I'm like, he gave you guys a
Yama
soul and
should have
goodwill.
known better.
Well, no, it's like, even, like... him explaining why he gave them a soul. He's like, I wanted it to be a token as a peace treaty for both you and the bug jar. That's why I gave you each one.
And then, like, he fucks up Blue in particular.
Well,
just
yeah,
being like,
he's
you
like,
need a lesson especially.
You need to learn the most. And he's the one who I think actually gets legitimately shot.
Yeah, he gets actually injured.
Like, everyone else probably got, like, fake bullets just to be, like, kind of scared straight.
They're at least fine, but he ends up with, like, actual, like, wounds on his face and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he takes all of their swords, and then he summons God Tarantula, and they're just like, what the fuck is going on? And then, like,
so
they're all just being, like, believing that the other three gods are being under control, but they're all willingly going up the Tarantula's web, and they're just like...
did they say anything?
Yeah, like, Himeno's immediately just like, oh, what'd they say? It's like, oh, they said they're following him, and all of a sudden, he's just like, no, I don't think... Tarantulo, I think his name was Tarantulo.
Like, I don't remember. No, I don't think that's it. It was really a cute name. What was it?
I loved his name.
It's in the preview, I think.
I think it's just really funny that, like, they gave all of these names, and then you obviously have just Bata.
Oh yeah, she thinks they're being controlled.
Yeah.
He's like, no, they wanted their free will.
Yeah.
And you see that he actually saved that one Bugnark that was very hesitant with everything. They didn't want to fight, they...
And he even then calls him, he's like, you're the true king
of Terra. He's like, I'm the king of the in-between. And I just... Because, again, just everything with, like, the half creatures.
It's very interesting, because, again, Tarantula just came in and wrecked everyone's shit, and nobody knew what was going on. And it's like, again, it's understandable. So, yeah, his name was Tarantunos. Tarantinos. Like, I love that's his name. It's so cute.
What's that one director that sounds like that? Like,
Quentin Tarantino?
Tarantino.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, in BoJack, they were just like Tarantulino, so it's like, I think that's why I think of it.
Yeah, he was also in this movie... Well, never mind. We're not going to get into Quentin Tarantino's work right now.
Okay, fine. But yeah, and it looks like next episode we're going to be dealing a little bit with
them trying
Yellow's
to get their
family,
swords back.
And Yellow and her family's murder.
Moida. And I'm very interested to see how this is going to play, because it's like, obviously, they're still under some belief that God Tarantula is...
evil!
Is against... Is, like, controlling the others, which in reality, no. It's like, hey, no, they're friends to all, and that's what the three greater shoe gods are with. And matter of fact, if you look at the legend and story, Tarantula was always there.
Yeah, I don't know why they're surprised.
And he was with the other three. You know what I mean? When it's like, when it was the picture of all four of them together, it was always the four of them with the castle underneath.
I'm realizing, I wonder why Reculus wanted Jeremy to tell him more of the history. Do you think he doesn't know, or like?
No, I wonder to know if he wants to kill him just so he can hide it.
I don't know. I wonder why he was asking Jeremy those questions. Like, they didn't sound like anything that Reculus would ask. Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering why.
It's an odd choice.
I don't know exactly when we'll be figuring it out, but I imagine eventually.
All right.
Also, I want to know more about Rita. Like, of course. Like, I want to know, like, people's backstories. Like, what...
Hey, next episode we might be getting Muffin backstory.
To be fair, and B too. Like, it's just like, I kind of want to know, it's like, who came before them? Who taught them? Who inspired them?
Yeah.
We also see him in the snowman. I'm really glad they're reusing that prop. I love it.
The snowman prop.
I love it.
All right, you ready to get into Punk Jack Land?
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I didn't want to actually
we're
scream.
gonna do extra Punk Jack because it's technically a prequel. This is literally just what did Punk Jack do before he just joined
the Desire Grand Prix.
Yeah, exactly. And it's literally him waking up.
So apparently his head actually didn't explode, and he did actually live.
Well, kind of. He said he slightly kept him from being erased.
Yeah, basically he kept him from just completely
Yeah,
dying.
and by the way, he has no memories.
No memories, he's all messed up.
And, like, again, Lord Reginald's just talking to him like he knows everything already. And he's just like, yeah, we
I don't know
can't
what the hell
believe
you're talking
Giori, would use you because, you know, you're a grandson of a very important sponsor. And he's like, oh,
He's
you
like
know my
shaking
grandpa?
in rage too.
Like, he's pissed.
He was pissed. He was like, he like full on bowed and apologized too.
Yeah, and Punk Jack's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're gonna choose if you want to keep joining and work with us again or not. And he's just like, what? You just have to touch this ID core. He's like, what? Yeah, you're gonna have to join a life or death game.
But there's no going back. Once you touch it, you gotta fight. To be fair, at least he did like give him a kind of proper warning.
Yeah, and then you have Punk Jack being like, hey, you're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation right now.
That's exactly what this is.
I was your average rocker.
Yeah, and I got a story I wasn't actually quite expecting with him. So his whole thing was
You
like
get his backstory.
he was in a band. What was it called? Like Weathered Hearts or something like that.
Or
what-
me go, like,
or
you
Weather
talk-
Hearts.
You know what? Just keep talking. I'll look into it.
And the main focus of this is obviously Punk Jack and one other member of this band. I forget his name.
Hiroki.
Hiroki?
Hiroki.
Hiroki. And apparently no one loves music more than Hiroki. And
Well, I'm about to say, we don't know that yet, but they're performing on stage.
what does it matter? Don't correct me. But
Fine.
I'm the president.
I'm the president.
So, and like, you know, they're performing like the song, and it's a fucking bop. Like usually in writer shows, like, you know, when there's like music inside of the show, like, oh, it's an Idol, or like in like I think it was Dawn Brothers where we had like the Idol, right?
Oh yeah, no, they've used Idol
Ultraman
so
have
many
done
times.
it. Ultraman has done it, like, you know, where it's like someone like performing a song, and usually there's only ever one song, which I understand, but like in this, they're usually fine. It's like background music, whatever. But oh my god, I think it's called like
The
I
Weather
think-
Hearts, you were right.
Yeah, I think it's just called Punk King, right?
Rolling Punk King.
Guys, it's a freaking bop. It's on Spotify. I mean,
Listen to it on
it's
Spotify.
really freaking bop.
It even
Bop.
had its own music video, which was just the scene from the show.
And-
which also,
And like, side note, because they pronounce punku, I kept thinking they were saying rolling pumpkin king, and I'm for that. I love it.
I feel like that was a little bit on purpose.
Probably a little bit.
And-
But, and after the show,
Well, during the show, they made sure to zoom in on one person in particular in the back.
Hiroki? Was that his name again?
Yeah.
Okay. And apparently Hiroki has a pregnant wife.
Or girlfriend, we're not sure.
I'm
Also,
gonna
this
go-
is
I'm
the
gonna say
this
wife.
is the worst prosthetic ever.
Oh, it's a, yeah. It's
it looks like a pillow.
It's just a pillow.
Well,
like,
at
her
first
stomach goes up to her tits. It's very fake, but
Well,
whatever.
yeah, it's also square.
Yeah. And once the show is over, he breaks up the band, and Hiroki's like super distraught over this. Of just like, no, like, I want us to keep going.
Yeah,
but...
he's like, but what's the point?
And even his wife is just, again, I'm gonna keep saying wife. It could not be his wife. It could be a girlfriend, but whatever. It's just like I
don't
mean,
know her
you're
name.
about to be a dad. We need to really think about our future and everything. And he's just so distraught over it. And then apparently afterwards, Punk, should I just say Win? I'm realizing.
Yeah, just Win.
And Win just kind of,
Blows all his money.
yeah, he went into debt. He started drinking. Like,
Yeah, we literally just see him with like a fucking Dos Equis or something. Like,
Yeah,
he's
just
just like,
staggering.
I don't fucking care. I'll just do what the fuck I want.
it's really sad. And then he went up to like his uncle.
Well, no, he
who-
got so much in debt and so screwed over, his uncle had to bail him out. He's like, stop being a piece of shit.
Yeah, he got him a job at a place that isn't recognized by the government or whatever he said. We all know what that is.
We all know what it is.
And he starts to talk. A lot of this is being played like he's being interviewed, by the way. And he talks about how he had like these various jobs. Like sometimes he would
this
like
was a Grand Prix staff.
sometimes he would overlook like the production of like the ID cores and the drivers, and there's a
Yeah,
massive
how it's set
amount
up.
of them.
Yeah, you just see walls upon walls, and you also get to see memory erasing.
Yeah, and apparently it's painful.
It looks painful. Like, you literally just see him put, like, a helmet on you, and they're just like...
They zap you and you scream.
And you just hear him go... "Ah, ah, 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 ah."
Jesus, calm down. And they also like do like cleanup of like anyone interacting with the Desire Grand Prix. Like we actually see Buffa with his like dying friend. Like,
They tase him.
They just straight like tase him in the fucking neck, and then they like start to like desanitize the area and shit.
Yeah, just
like,
to make sure.
it's so weird to like see the behind the scenes of essentially like a writer show, but in real life.
They were just doing cleanup and doing whatever they need to.
And like working security and blah 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 stuff like that.
Also returning players who run away, and also making sure they're all prepared and trained to make sure they can deal with anything that could go wrong, because we also see them fight practice.
Yeah, like I imagine they're probably just kind of used for like training other people of just like, yeah, let them wail on you a bit.
Let's kick the shit out of them. And we immediately then he runs into the Desire Grand Prix, like, into one job. They were just like, win, you're coming with us.
By the way, they have like these like black ID cores that like basically give you like a blank suit, and it looks ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're talking about this one day that he went out because he was just like doing well to go and watch, like, as a player was apparently trying to run away.
Yeah, they're like, you're deserting the game. We have to return them back.
And, you know, you see all them transform and stuff, and he starts pleading his case, and we see who it is.
Well, not right.
Right?
Wait, first things first, they were just like, all right, we need to make sure and deal with it and either return him to the game or just see if he withdraws.
Yeah, because,
He's just,
Yeah.
because he's just bailing.
Because this was something we had talked about all the way back with, like, Letter, when she tried to
Yeah,
run
when she tried to
away
run before she got
murdered. And it's like, oh, I wonder what happens if someone does just want to leave. And apparently, yes, you can withdraw, but it does still take your memories, like you retire, essentially.
Yeah, you get the equivalent of retiring.
Because it's either, like, you withdraw, you lose, or you die and you become plant food.
And we immediately, like you said, it's this Dalmatian-looking helmet.
Very cute, actually. I thought it was very cute.
And it's Punk Jack's friend. He's
with
just
the
like,
pregnant wife. He's, I don't want to fight anymore. I just want... You see, his wish was, like, he wanted his band, Weathered Hearts, to be successful.
to be popular.
He's like, I wanted it to work because we were so happy and we could still take care of our families and just...
Like, you see this man break down.
And then they, like, first of all, they, like, just shoved this guy into, like, a herd of Jamato.
No, they just showed up. These
Yeah.
Yamato were just... I feel like they were placed, but they showed up.
Yeah, they just shoved him into it. It's just like, well, fight, and then he gets the shit
game's
kicked.
back on.
And Punk Jack's just like, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
and then
like, he couldn't watch his friend die.
he transforms, and he just annihilates them. This guy's a really good fighter.
Yeah, like, fucking Win just comes in, kicks ass.
He wins.
Yeah.
I'm Punk Jack! I'm the boy who wins!
And then immediately he goes to go, like, because he finds out, obviously, they tell him again, they're like, all right, this is your last chance. Either go back to the game or tell us you're withdrawing now that the Jamato are gone.
And he actually does withdraw, and he retires. Punk Jack freaks out because
Yeah.
he thinks that he's dead.
Yeah, and he's like, no, his memory just got wiped, don't worry, which, again, painful.
And
This is where then he goes immediately to go find him. He's like, oh, you're okay, because he was clean. I guess he works at that place they were
probably.
doing music.
He's like, oh, what are you talking about? He's just
yeah,
like,
he's
I'm
like
fine.
mopping or something.
He's just like, you know what? Let's keep playing. I know it
I
means
didn't
a
know
whole
you
lot
cared
to you.
about music.
I just need to throw myself into it a little more, and maybe I'll start to enjoy it just, you know, and we can make it work, and that'll make it popular. Because, like, something they had done before was they compared themselves to a different band that had been around just as long and was already famous.
I don't even know what they were called, but I remember one of them was called, like, Emperor Joe.
Yeah, one of them was called Emperor Joe. Which sounds a lot like the... oh my gosh, what was it called? In Mad Max.
Oh, I thought you were going to say King Joe.
That's fair. But... And he's just like, nah, I'm not really interested in
Lord
music again.
Humongous, I don't know.
But, which is something that we already know, but we actually get to see him asking Surumi about it.
Well, then we get a little bit more of an explanation outside of, oh, they just lose their desire.
Like, apparently, like, that's their spark.
Yeah, like
They
the spark
the
is
part
saved-
the spark that gives them their desire, that makes them them, their
That makes
happiness essentially is stored inside their ID core.
and they pretty much tell you that the sparks of the dropped players or killed players are made into the energy that recreates the earth.
Yeah, they're the parts that go into the goddess
and-
to recreate the world, and the ID cores themselves go to the Jamato Garden, which he asks about, but she doesn't elaborate.
And Win is
Distraught.
distraught.
He's destroyed.
begging. He's begging just
Like,
to return.
please, he loved music more than anybody. Please, he deserves to be happy.
And Tsurumi you can see her not wanting to look at him the whole time she was talking to him.
It makes me wonder how navigators get into the situation they are. They're probably just future people, but
They are. Obvious.
obviously.
By the end of the next episode, we know.
I mean, I guess
They
that's
may
fair.
have a system.
Yeah, they may have a system, but
But yeah, no, they're just like,
and then he goes back to his guard buddies, and they're like, "Hey, yo, you showed up just in time. We're unionizing."
yeah, we're unionizing.
Not exactly. They're just like, you know what? The game master's all distracted right now, so
And we stole some ID cores.
we stole these ID cores. This should be enough to grant
And
any
his
wish that
friends
we
is in
want.
it.
Yeah, and he sees his friend's ID core in there. He's just like, we're gonna go and demand that they do that, and
Like-
they do stupidly.
And yeah, and the game master's immediately like, "You're a piece of shit. What the fuck do you think you're doing? You cannot take
That's-
on me."
They're not used for your benefit. That's disgusting.
And
Disgusting.
which is funny because I want to know if he's pissed immediately. He's like, Geets won again. Actually, I think Geets
Yeah, he
already
does.
won.
Yeah,
I think he's just like,
we saw Geets win, and it was like the episode 1.
Yeah, it was the episode 1 win.
Like, "Ugh."
He's like, ah.
And because they're trying to overthrow at that point, and they're fully transformed and trying to fight, he's like, and Punkjack's just kind of watching because he hasn't really agreed
Yeah.
with this. And he's like, "You take
help me.
this."
Help me. And he gets the beat buckle and his
Oh,
Punkjack
I've
ID
been
core.
waiting for so freaking long to see Punkjack with beat. I waited so long, and it works so good. Why the hell did they not give it to me sooner?
And
He has
he
pink
kicks
eyes.
and
He kicks ass.
Yeah, he kicks ass, and he's just like, okay, cool. And then we get to see Glare again. Beautiful, beautiful
Oh, I
Glare.
miss that suit. Such a good suit. And he takes control of all of them.
Yeah, he takes control of all of them.
He's like, if you won't listen to me, then I will force you to.
well, yeah, and Gory's just like, you did a good job. I think you'll do real good. We might have to discipline somebody later, so I'm going to keep you on standby for that. You'll definitely be very useful, and I will in no way blow up your head later.
But I think he does figure it out at one point. He's just like, you planned this. You were expecting me to not
Well,
do
yeah,
this
he's
for
like-
you. He's like, yeah,
Yeah, he says, he's like, oh, I can detect it in my vision driver. He's
which
like,
makes sense.
He's like, I know their
I guess.
intentions, yeah. He's like, I read your minds, fuckers.
Read your Bible. I wrote it, but
Well, that's not Jeremy.
no, that's Jeremy.
And we get a new Desire Grand Prix rule.
I haven't seen this
at the
screen in
end.
a
Yeah,
while.
we haven't seen it. It's like the wishes of the defeated players are used as the energy to recreate the world. And
That was the Punkjack special.
yeah, that was the Punkjack special.
Honestly, I loved it. It was a little long than I was expecting, but I wasn't bored at any point.
Which is funny because he came back last episode just
Like-
to be like, wow, everything's really went to shit.
I got intimidated once I saw the runtime, but I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, it was like
oh
27
my
minutes.
god, that song is catchy. I love it.
And I guess let's get into the episode proper, which this one honestly went by really fast.
Oh, seriously.
Because this is just cleaning up where we are last time, and this is the episode, I think we'll be a little bit out of order. It opens up where we left off, where Zine is just trying to talk to Baroba and Keikara, and they're just like, give back the drivers. Do you really want to fuck with people?
You're not gonna be able to, you're gonna disappear once we, have the grand end, and it's coming soon. Come on, man.
And they're just like,
Come on,
fine,
We
but
just
let
wanna
us
do it one more
let's get our one last wish.
And we actually don't see what these are, and I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared. And he obviously gets the vision drivers back. But we then get the start of the extra round because there's a tie of 33 points to 33 points between Sarah and Buffa.
And it's like, okay, you have however much time to steal from each other. And first of all, I just have to commend whoever
This
scouted
maze.
whoever scouted this place, because it's broken buildings and there's vehicles everywhere. They go onto a broken down
Like a-
bus at one point.
Like
It
a
looks
train car.
It just looks very cool. You know, it looks very almost like.
And
I guess it almost reminds me of Amazon's. Remember how they would have a lot of fights in places like that?
yeah,
It's really good. And Buffa just looks like a towering opponent in that fucking bus.
Yeah, you even
Love
like
it.
I like that they allowed him to actually just like step up on it. They didn't skip any process of it because it weirdly added to the intimidation factor of
Yeah,
this.
just like he's fucking coming for you.
And like he is just wrecking all of their shit. And you remember how we were saying how Neon wasn't gonna win? Yeah, her and Sarah just lost their rights to be writers.
Yeah, like he kind of just beats the absolute living hell out of them and takes their ID cord. And like
They're begging them.
And then like Neon is kind of just like, no, please, I have something I still need to do. And I'm just in there like, girl, it doesn't matter.
Which, by the way, yeah, we also did. They found out right before this fight because Kyun told Neon and she told everyone else they're not getting their wishes.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Which
Kyun
we already
actually.
knew.
I've totally forgot. We totally forgot to mention that. Yeah, Kyun does actually go up to Neon, just like, dude,
You're
not even if you win, you're not gonna get your wish. So it's like, what the fuck are you even trying to do at this point? At least it makes sense why Buffa is still fucking charging at things because he's trying to like. He's probably even more motivated than ever now that he knows that there's like an ending incoming.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, like even Tycoon's still fighting. Where it's like, why are you still fighting?
And you know what? I will say that. They were fighting the whole time, but the conversation between Buffa and Tycoon was really interesting because it's like one of the things I pointed out was like, why would Buffa be against Tycoon getting his wish? It's a very selfless wish, but it's like, oh, what about it does he not like? And they have the conversation to kind of confirm that, and it's really interesting because he's like, your wish. Because as we've learned, the goddess has like an equal and opposite reaction. Everything has to be equal. Like for every happy person, there's an unhappy person. And you're bringing a lot of people back. And the consequence of that is, yes, you're saving all of these good people that you would want to come back, but you're also bringing back a shit ton of terrible people. You're bringing back people like Sparrow, like fucking... Like the serial killer bear. What was his name?
Well, yeah, but that's not
like,
bringing him back. They're not dead, but it's like...
I know, but like Mary, like the people that killed Buffa's
those are examples.
friend.
Yeah.
Like,
and
like that's gonna be the consequence of that wish.
Buffa says that'll cause more victims. He's like the dead. They're gone, dude. Just
you need to get over it.
Yeah, it's like
the dead are gone.
And well, I was about to say, should we just finish the Buffa fight?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
and like obviously, after Buffa crushes the ID cores of both Neon and Sarah, just at the same fucking time, Tycoon's just like, no!
Yeah,
he's like, oh, don't worry, you'll join him in a second.
Yeah, don't worry. I got you. And like, again, they're just fighting and having this argument and everything. And he's just like, but now that I know, I can't give up.
Like, it's just like, you can go back. You were happy before the Desire Grand Prix. Just go back to being that. You'll still be happy. Your sister will be there. Like, you should be fine with this. He's like, no, like, now that I know that this exists, I can't just not do anything about it. I have to at least try. Which is, you know, and he's starting to sound a lot more like a Kamen Rider.
Well, yeah, and all of a sudden, this is also, like,
this
is
like,
where Buffa says the line of, like, the dead are lost, dude. You need to move on.
And... like, it's really good acting on Tycoon's part. He feels like a Kamen Rider in this. His voice is cracking. He's passionate about it.
Yeah, Buffa has his ID core in his hand.
He's literally about to crush it, and then Punkjet just comes on and it's like, heh heh heh, and like smacks it out of his fucking hand.
Now let's back up the train a little bit.
The bonus round's over.
Bonus round. So now let's back up the train a little bit. And do you want to go to Zine and Ace, or do you want to go to Surumi Punkjack?
Was there anything with Punkjack that we... after like they had been talking, like after he smacked the ID core out of Buffa's hand, is there anything we're missing there, like before we truly move on? Like,
we're not gonna move on. I mean, like when we go back. I'm saying
I'd say let's talk with like Zine and Reginald first, and then let's go into Surumi and Punkjack because I feel like that leads into the later stuff a little better.
Yeah. And we immediately, Zine gives back the Vision Drivers to Lord Reginald. He's like, oh, excellent. Finally, my Vision Driver back. And then he immediately goes to grab the second one, and he's just like, nope.
And he tosses it, and who catches it? But Geets. It's our Fox boy.
Ace he's just like, how fucking dare you?
You motherfuckers.
And he's just like,
Actual motherfuckers.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm the Fox supporter. What'd you expect?
And then, like, I have to say, Zine's probably so happy right now because he gets the biggest shit-eating grin on his face and he does, like, the little thing. Like,
he does the hand motion.
Little hand thing. Oh my god. I can only imagine how happy he's just like, yeah, I was the fox for me.
Yeah, and he's just like, now tell us everything about Mitsune. And he immediately is just like, I don't know if I want to tell you anything. And then Geets immediately goes to go see his mom. And then we cut to Punk Jack.
Well, no, I thought we were gonna finish, like, the thing with the goddess real quick.
Well, I would say they interplay between the two of them. So honestly, we can cut back and forth with this
Alright,
one.
so, well, I do want to say, like, the conversation between original guy, like, what's his name again?
Suru, I call him Cult Leader.
Cult leader. So the conversation between him and Ace is really interesting because this is like the most distraught we've really seen Ace because his mom is like right there. And this guy's going on just like, it's just a thing. It grants our wishes. It's just a tool. It's not a person. It's just a thing.
They have no will.
And now it's starting to not function properly.
No. It says, it doesn't have a will. I'll show you. And it pulls up a desire card and that says, I want a world where Ace doesn't exist. Or Yukio Ace doesn't exist. And he pulls it up to the desire goddess. And it starts lighting up. You start hearing all the sounds and he should start disappearing.
But then it gets rejected.
Yeah, and you just start hearing that eerie, fucked up scream again.
Yeah.
Because, she's not going to delete her son.
Yeah, and, like, you see cracks appearing on, like, her wings and stuff. It's just like, well, a goddess that can't grant a wish is a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
And Ace is just furious.
Yeah.
All right. But let's get in.
Apparently you find out they weaken over time.
Yeah, and, like, they weaken over time. It's just time to get a new one, apparently.
And this is, I think that's pretty much it for their scene there outside of then. I think that's when, like, no, that happens a little bit later. Because, this is immediately, they cut back and forth between the scene, but now let's go to Surumi and Punk Jack.
And they're in, like, the records of the Desire Grand Prix, trying to look back. And she joins him, and he's just like, I found this weird entry from when a new rule was created in the BC era when Geets was born.
Yeah.
And it's...
This is where Surumi says that future people don't have the capability to give birth.
And he reads the rule that had become a thing at that point. It's like players and navigators are forbidden from having interpersonal relationships. And this is also the same time when that rule was made, when they just shifted from the
gold coin.
Prize being a gold coin being your ideal world, and the man that broke the taboo was wiped from history.
Yeah, so Geets' dad was wiped from history.
Which is something that we had been talking about a lot, of just like, oh, what if Geets' dad was like was the victor of it that became too close to the navigator, and that's why the coin keeps finding him. Like, and where are you?
That was pretty much the scene.
So it basically confirmed that that's exactly what happened, which it was so weird. Like, this whole episode, guys, was like really weird because it just confirmed a lot of the stuff that Adam and I have been theorizing about. I don't think that we've been this right about a show in a while, but at the same time, it didn't feel like, oh, I guessed it ahead of time or anything. No, it almost felt just like, oh, well, God, I was right. This is awesome. This is cool.
This is
I
terrifying.
never at any point thought it was bad. Like, I never felt like, oh, it's boring because now I already figured it out. Like, I was still super entertained the whole time.
Yeah. And now it's time to get into the present back day. So, Punk Jack punches the ID core, saves Tycoon's life.
And he's like, all right, bitches, listen up. And he's on a fucking stage, and he's explaining everything. He's like, I'm gonna fucking clear the waters here.
Yeah, he's like, so this is what happened all these years ago. So, how the Desire Goddess first did anything was she prayed for 3 days and 3 nights, and then she found that there was a life dwelling inside of her.
They made a miracle.
Her and the past man made a miracle.
Because, like, he even goes on to explain, like, oh, we hear these stories of God making people from, like, clay and other objects and stuff. This is exactly a case of this happening. This wasn't a goddess using the powers of other people's happiness. This was her and her desire creating a miracle with another person.
And it's like, you want to know what the answer is? Love and peace.
Yeah, and apparently she doesn't even really... We've always, like, oh, she doesn't want to have, like, all of this happiness being put inside of her and then putting, like, changing the world to, like,
whatever
it is because of it. Apparently, they don't even need to do that process for this to work. They just do it.
Well, I think it works on grander scales.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, if it were just like a small thing, she could probably do it without using anyone's happiness. But because they're using it in this selfish way, it's very much, and like, he's talking with this to everybody. He's saying this to Geetsu's, Tycoon, and Buffa.
And Tycoon is immediately just like, yeah, but she needs to pay for her crimes. And he's just like, no.
She's innocent.
Yeah, it's like all she did was use what she had. And it wasn't until the staff that started to use the happiness. She's pretty guilt-free and doesn't...
And Buffa points it out perfectly. Like, is it the tool that's to blame or the one who used it? This is very much, like, very reminiscent of, like, a weird comparison. But, like, the argument of, like, guns don't kill people, people kill people. But do you blame the gun? Do you blame the person? Kind of thing.
Exactly.
And right now, Mitsume is the gun. Like, she is the one that's being blamed for the actions of the people using her in this way, when she would be harmless on her own if they would just put her down and leave her alone, essentially. It's the same argument in a weird way.
Yeah. And
again, weird comparison, but it weirdly works. So
and after that, we go into another sweet Lord Reginald v. Geets fight. And he's literally like, I'm going to save my mom. And he's just like, if you had just lived your fucking regular life, you wouldn't have had to suffer.
If you just would have lived as the son of Yukio. And we actually see the goddess chained up, hanging from the sky.
Because they're going to leave her. They're going to destroy her and leave her when they're done.
Yeah, because, like, she's already, like, literally falling apart. And it's, the grand end is starting to begin of, like, these future people need to start getting onto the other side before they start disappearing.
Yeah,
and they're going to leave Mitsune.
The goddess.
They're gonna leave her, and they even like hint at the fact of we're just gonna start getting a new one. They have a process now, and what a gorgeous fight this happened.
Like, this fight was awesome. It's like they're using their gravity powers. Geets uses the force,
and you know that they're both going for blood because Ace has all the resolve in the world that he needs in order to save his mom. And Lord Reginald got ordered by his boss
that he had to
kill
fight him. And here's the thing, and this is something Lord Reginald pointed out. He's like, you can't beat me. You lost your cool.
Yeah, you're not level-headed anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have your cool head anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, now that you've lost it, you're easy to read. You're easy to fight. You're nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he immediately is just like, it's over. And Geets is just freaking the fuck out.
And a piece of the goddess's face actually, like, falls off.
Yeah.
And lands in front of him. Because, like, he's had the shit beaten out of him. He's out of suit at this point. And he's holding this piece. And he's just, like,
screaming.
He's just like, I have to do this. And he's screaming.
Well, even Reginald says, your mother isn't there anymore. She's just a husk.
Even if you were to save her, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know how true that is. And
we don't even know if Reginald knows that's a fact.
Guys, this is so fucking cool.
Boost Mark 3, baby.
Boost Mark 3. And a new belt appears on him. He's swirling around with fire.
And darkness.
Darkness and tails. They have awoken the nine-tailed fox.
He's not nine tails yet.
Is he not?
He's at least a solid 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. So he's like right there. And guys, this suit has no right to be this sexy.
Oh, no.
Didn't the cheek turn it into something? Like the stone piece?
He was still holding. That's what I thought was going to turn into the buckle, but
that's what I thought too. I was just like, yes, a toy falling from the sky.
But,
like, oh my god, it was so good.
But here's the thing. Because the suit you're thinking about, that's like the purely sexiness. That's next week.
Oh, is that next week? I thought I couldn't see that much because it was kind of like surrounded with fire.
This suit still looks really good. It doesn't look fully complete, but it looks really good.
Oh, it's so cool.
Like, Boost Mark 3 looks awesome, and it's obviously the step right before we get Boost Mark 9 or Dynamite Boost, I think, I think it's just called Geets 9. Is his final form.
Oh, but I've seen pictures of that
his
suit.
Final form
guys,
is gorgeous.
It is just like the prettiest suit I have seen in so long. It is so good. And we actually end on another desire rule,
and
but
it says Kamen Rider technology can only be made and regulated and managed by the staff. No exceptions.
And then, guys, they literally have set this up since episode 1. It's been showing every single episode since, and they did it all for this one fucking moment, and I'm so happy that they did this
Geets'
because
tails.
Geets' tails come up and swipes away the no exceptions part, and I got so unrealistically happy about it. I was
And
just
like
so fucking
Reginald's like
stoked.
that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, because everyone's like freaking out over the fact that that just happened.
So yeah, that's how the
And-
episode ends.
And there's this one part in the preview that was really weird of just like, it seems very like surreal. Like I wonder if we're gonna be getting like a little bit more of like an introspective, surreal kind of episode tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next
Well,
time.
actually, tomorrow.
Oh yeah. The other things are
The
being
sub should
subbed
be
tomorrow.
Will probably be sub tomorrow.
But just guys,
I loved it.
so much good stuff this
Like
week.
I don't even have much to say. It just looks awesome, and I want next week. Like I don't even have much to say. It's like the fights were great. The character interactions, the confirmation of like what Mitsune is and everyone else was amazing.
I feel
The
like
Geese and Lord Reginald fight
They're
was really
explaining
well
it.
done.
They're explaining it so well in a way that doesn't feel confusing, but it also doesn't feel info dumpy. I feel like they've been pacing it out really well to keep it interesting.
And it feels like next week is the last episode, but we still have several weeks left.
I don't know how.
What's the rest of the
What
show?
is the rest of the show going to be? Because
we
it
know-
feels like the
we
last
know Buffa
episode
needs
is like.
a new power up. We knew Tycoon needs the new power up. So, I don't know. Meanwhile, it was supposedly in the rumors that Tycoon's power up was supposed to happen before Geats 9. That's obviously not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious. I'm very excited for Geats 9.
I'm wondering what fucking Baroba and Kikara's wishes were.
Exactly. I was theorizing maybe because it's like we didn't know, and it was while we were watching. I'm like, oh, do you think his wishes like gave him an indestructible ID core? Like he always can be a common rider, so
Or something
Buffa
like
can't
that.
destroy it.
But like, oh, one of the things that like you had been theorizing that I was gonna bring up and I forgot was like, oh, what if like Buffa crushing the ID cores the way he is? Because whenever things are like when they die or retire,
because
they crack. It was just like they crack. You're wondering, oh, if because he's fully breaking them so that they
breaking
can't
them
be
into
a
pieces.
rider ever again, is releasing that spark that's trapped inside it.
Yeah, because it's not just a crack.
Which is really smart, actually.
And-
What did you think of the Punk Jack special? Obviously, I just kind of loved it because I got more of this character that I've been wanting, using the buckle that I've been wanting him to use for forever, and I got a bitchin' song out of it, so like I have no complaints, basically.
That obviously won the week for you.
Probably just like
I don't know what won this week for me
that's
personally.
hard because
I
like
like the
all
Punk-
3 episodes were really good.
I think the Punk Jack special was really cool. I like that we got to see the behind the scenes of like the day in the life of what, like literally telling us, because Punk Jack said he's like, oh, I'm more of an intern than an actual staff member, to actually know what he was doing.
Yeah, it's because like that was something that was always interesting to me. Like I imagine if we go back and actually listen to some of the podcasts, that was one of the things that interested me about him, was because like he was staff and he kind of knew the inner workings of what was going on, and to actually see some of it was really cool. Like it's something that I've been, again, these
As
are all
fucked up as some of it
these
was.
are all things I've been wanting to see for so long.
My only complaint is, I think it's funny they made a new helmet, but like anything else looks so cheap. Like I said, his fucking pregnant friend's girlfriend looked it looked like a pillow in an intern.
Oh, there was another thing where he went and saw his friend coming out of like a doctor's appointment with her. He's just like, what was the happiest version of you? This or the one that was playing music? Because you still look happy, but like, which one of you was happier, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, would you be happy with both is probably the thought. With or without it. Like,
That was heartbreaking when he's just like, you know what, let's go and do it, buddy. And he just,
said
I don't
no.
have an interest in
Like,
that anymore.
yeah,
Like,
he's like, it's over.
so sad.
But yeah, no, I love that Jeremy was just pissed. He's like, I'm done with all of you.
But it makes sense.
all of you.
It fully makes sense.
Well,
why.
yeah, exactly. If anyone's like mad, they're like, oh, Jeremy, stop being a dick. I'm like, no, he doesn't. Because it's like there was even a line. He's like, oh, you could have just said that it was your mom's. It's like, no, he didn't. He told you that it was important to him.
That's all you need
That's
to know.
all he really needed to know. It's like, could the deeper meaning of like, oh, maybe a friend gave it to him, maybe it was his dad.
Nah, his dad gave him a face mask that never comes off.
See, wait, I'm realizing I didn't get into this point, but like I thought it was very interesting that the sword was probably of his dad, and then the gun was his mom's. And I imagine, obviously, he's a mama's boy. You even hear him say "mother" when he says the little story when he's like, "Oh." He's like, and then the 3 greater gods will go
Like,
raise to the sky.
He still establishes he calls his dad king, but he calls his mom. Like that's kind of shows you what you need to see. I'm really interested to see what his relationship with his dad was, because
I
it
hope we see them
seems
both.
it seems like it may be interesting.
Yeah, it's like we've already seen his mom's suit, but I want to see what his dad looks like. And again, is he going to air out any dirty laundry of the past? Like, I want to know. But I'm very excited for the coming weeks. I don't know if Tarantula Night is next episode. I don't think it is. But we did see Centipede and Cicada this episode. They just kind of were like coming in. They were like, swing, swing, and then they left. It's like, you can't buy our toys yet.
So much good stuff. Like, dude, like, I don't even know how Geats is gonna end. I really don't.
Yeah, we have a few months left.
That's the part that gets me, because this feels like the ending. This really feels like the ending.
And yeah, I think that's it for this week. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. What did you...
Apparently, go listen to Rolling Rolling Punk King.
Yeah, I found it on Spotify by just typing in Rolling Punk King. By the way, it's not Pumpkin King. It is Punk King. And
it's also on iTunes. I know that.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
All right, cool. And then I put Kamen Rider, and then it popped up. So it's not too hard to find or anything.
So yeah, give it a listen.
It's
Tell
really
us
fun.
what you think of it down in the comments.
I was jamming out to it.
But yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is a bit of a longer one. There was a lot of stuff to talk about, but lots of good stuff.
Things and a lot of confirmation, a lot of discussing.
A lot of good stuff.
So yeah, I think that's it.
We'll talk to you next time.
Until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.